There was just 7 minutes left in the game now, but it was enough time for Bob Griese to put on a furious display of pinpoint passing that brought Miami right back in the game. First, after rolling right, Griese turned and threw across the field for his tight end Marv Fleming on a play that produced 13 yards and a first down on the Miami 42. Here, Griese sprung the reverse to Warfield, but the flanker fumbled. Luckily, Bob DeMarco recovered and Miami retained possession. 3rd and 13, and Griese went to his ace Warfield, who had beaten Emmett Thomas over the middle. The Dolphins had the first down they so desperately needed. From here, Griese simply peppered the Kansas City secondary with a succession of short, accurate passes. First to Jim Mandich at the right sideline, then a perfectly lofted pass to Warfield, who took it all the way to the Chief 12. On this key pass, Warfield was operating on the short side of the field with little room to maneuver. Yet his moves completely fooled Emmett Thomas, number 18, who could only leap in a futile gesture at the pass over his head. Now from the 12, Griese continued his aerial onslaught with a rollout bullet to Howard Twilley at the 5-yard line. Miami called timeout. There was now only a minute and a half remaining in the game. Here on his opponent's 5, with no time left for mistakes, Bob Griese vividly demonstrated why in this, his 5th NFL season, he has become the complete pro quarterback. Griese's primary receiver was blanketed in the end zone, so he improvised. Rolling to his right, he spotted a secondary outlet in Marv Fleming and hit him for the touchdown. The Dolphins had again spotted the Chiefs a touchdown, then marched the length of the field to tie them. But unbelievably, even with a little over a minute left, this game was far from over. The reason again was Ed Podolak. The third year back from Iowa took the kickoff and burned 78 yards through the Dolphins before being pushed out of bounds by Curtis Johnson. It was fitting that the all-purpose Podolak made the big play, for his consistency and variety of talents are a major reason why the Chiefs won the Western Division for the first time since 1966. Now Kansas City had the ball on the Miami 22 and elected to lifelessly run 3 consecutive times. It ensured keeping the ball for the almost certain field goal that would win the game. The strategy also served to run the clock down, despite the fact that Miami called time immediately after each play. So the stage was set for Jan Stenerud, possibly the premier kicker in the game, to kick the winning field goal from the 32-yard line with only 35 seconds left. It seemed like a sure thing, but it wasn't. Incredibly, Stenerud had missed the chip shot, and Miami took over with the game still deadlocked at 24 points. Surprisingly, the Dolphins failed to even run out the remaining 35 seconds and were forced to punt with 7 seconds left. Time expired by the time Dennis Homan made a fair catch. But here, Hank Stram decided to forego the attempt of a free kick, which would have had to travel 70 yards and could have been returned by Miami. The game now went into overtime.
You really gotta hand it to your hands. They get more grease and grind than they can stand, but they stay right by your side at your command. You really owe your hands a helping hand.
You know, sometimes you just don't like the finish on something. And that's the best time to reach for a Black & Decker finishing sander, because they're the best-selling line of finishing sanders in America. At up to 10,000 orbits a minute, they'll take on paint, rust, rough wood, or any unpleasant finish and get rid of it. There. Now that's what I call a nicer finish. When America has a job to do, it reaches for Black & Decker.
Whoa! Look at there! Monroe's giving away $10. Just go to any participating dealer before June 30, make your best deal on Ford Radial-Matic or Monroe Magnum 60 shocks, and he'll give you $10. That's quite a deal.
McDonald Auto Supply carries a huge stock of Monroe shocks.
Garo Yepremian kicked off, purposely keeping the ball low and away from Ed Podolak. But he ended up with it anyway, and again made a fine return, giving his team excellent field position on their own 46. Already, the Chiefs were close to Stenerud's field goal range, and they quickly improved their position on the first play when workhorse Podolak took a screen into Miami territory. Len Dawson, who had called a fine game today, stayed with Podolak and was rewarded with even better field position. But Dawson may have gone to the well once too often, for on the next play, Podolak fumbled, and though Miami gestured madly, Kansas City recovered the ball on the Dolphin 35. Stenerud came in to kick. The game appeared lost for Miami. But Nick Bonaconte blocked the kick, and the Dolphins again had a new life after teetering on the brink of defeat. On this series, Miami's first in overtime, the Chief defense seemed to vent their frustration on the Dolphins. Aaron Brown crashed into Greasy's sore shoulder, and the young quarterback obviously felt the pain. This was a great day for the AFC's number 1 and number 2 passers, both former Purdue quarterbacks, although a decade apart. Today, both were magnificent. Again, the Chiefs smelled out the flanker reverse, Marvin Upshaw tripping up Warfield for a loss that ended Miami's first overtime series. But their defense held the Chiefs and forced a punt to Jake Scott, the second leading returner in the AFC. And Scott's 18-yard dash gave Miami decent field position, which is so important in sudden death. Miami picked up additional yardage and a first down when Greasy fired to Twilly at the right sideline. But their next 2 plays got nowhere against the Chiefs' defense. Watch Marvin Upshaw, number 81, shrug off a block by Larry Little. Larry Zonka was the victim. The huge fullback had been held in check so far today. Now faced with 3rd and 9, Greasy went for Warfield, who this time was well covered by Emmett Thomas. Warfield caught 7 passes today, most of them on Thomas. But here, with Miami driving, the cornerback came up with a vital save. A repeat in slow motion shows how he did it. Thomas's heroics made it 4th down and forced Miami to try a field goal from the 52. Yepremian's attempt was short, and Kansas City had the ball again.
Rain. Here's an auto wax made for protection. Tire plate.
Snow.
A wax that helps slow down surface rust that starts in nicks and scratches outside your car. Tire plate.
Salt.
A wax that slows surface rust better than any other leading wax. Tire plate. So get the shine that protects. Get Car Plate.
This is force. Up to 500 pounds of it. That's the kind of torture a running shoe has to take with every stride. These are the shoes built to take it. The amazing new USA Olympics. Built to take the pounding, cushion the shock, and provide the comfort, stride after stride, mile after mile. USA Olympic joggers, only $17.99 and only at JCPenney. They're built to take it.
Make plans now to attend the exciting tractor pull June 8th and 9th at the Heart of Texas Coliseum. You'll see professional tractor pulling at its very best. Unbelievable power and great skill make this one of America's fastest growing motorsports. The Heart of Texas Classic Tractor Pull is presented by Chaparral Enterprises and the Texas Tractor Pullers Association and sponsored in part by Coors. Advance tickets on sale at the Coliseum or available at the door.
Daddy, can I help you?
Not now, Cindy. Daddy's busy. Go help Mommy.
Understanding in a family is a wonderful thing.
Back was brought down for a loss by Nick Bonaconti, one of 20 tackles or assists made today by the Dolphin captain. Now faced with 3rd and 5 at midfield, Dawson tried for better position for his kicker and lost. Jake Scott fielded the ball and returned 13 yards to the Miami 46 to end one threat and set up a new one for his own team as the game went into the second period of overtime. But even this break didn't help Miami, as on 3rd down, Greasy scrambled away from intense pressure, ran right up to the scrimmage line, and let fly with everything he had. Jim Mandich had safety Jim Kearney beaten, but the pass was on the wrong side and fell incomplete. Another opportunity had been missed by Miami, but their defense again stopped the Chiefs, and Greasy had the ball on his own 35. He called for Zonka on a counter against the flow, and the big back finally broke loose. This play, one of the biggest of many in this thriller, finally brought Miami into good field position, and Garo Yepremian came in to make the most important kick of the 1971 NFL season. It was good. Another look shows Yepremian knew it was good as soon as he kicked it. His holder, Carl Noonan, waited for the signal before celebrating one of the most exciting victories a team has ever won. In the longest professional football game ever played, a field goal had propelled the Miami Dolphins into the championship game. In only the 4th sudden death overtime in the league's history, the Kansas City Chiefs' dream of a 3rd Super Bowl was ended, while Don Shula's young team had kicked and scratched and came from behind to prove that they're a team that has arrived.
I'm Pat Summerall, and I hope you enjoy